Good morning, everyone. I love to stream in the mornings. I'm starting to love it. Maybe I should go back to doing the same. Yesterday, I couldn't have the stream at night because I was so worn out and burnt out. Maybe I should try morning streams even more. But let's get started. Today's plan is actually very simple. I want to take a new approach that before every stream, I lay out the plan of what I want to do. I think it helps me think better and be more organized, even for you who is building and learning with me. So the first thing I want to do today is to study the Amadeus API. Okay, we're going to look at Amadeus. Okay, Amadeus has APIs that are concerned with fetching the most visited places or the most traveled places. Okay, so we're going to look at the Amadeus API. So this is an external API. So you can build an API on top of the APIs. Okay. So we're going to look at an external API. Okay. For travel. Then after that, the second step will be to build our endpoints. Okay. Endpoints which use Amadeus. Okay. Endpoints using Amadeus. So this is going to be the goal of today. Then these endpoints must also use caching, okay, just to save. First of all, not to save, of course, to save some tokens, because remember, Amadeus will charge me serious tokens, okay? Will charge me serious tokens every time I hit their endpoint. So caching will help me save always hitting their API, and also it will give faster responses, okay, when fetching from their what can I call it, from my cache, okay, when fetching from my cache, instead of going to Amadeus, I fetch from the cache, and I might put a cache, I might cache like for maybe 20 minutes or 30 minutes, okay. What else can I do? Okay, after this, we then integrate in the front end, okay. Integrate in the front end. Integrate in the front end. So this will simply involve making API calls to our endpoint and then displaying the data. Integrate the front end. Yeah, I think that will be it. And maybe in case there's time today, one more thing I can do is to, when you click, okay, when a user clicks on the most visited place, okay, we can automatically populate the form, the search form, okay, automatically populate the form. So this is a general overview of today's plan. This is what I want to get started, okay, to do. I mean, make a call to Amadeus external API to give us the most traveled places or the most visited places. After that, create our endpoints around that, okay. Have a caching layer. You can even do things like logging, okay. You can log, okay. We can handle errors, okay. In addition to that, we can even move ahead to then integrate, okay. After integrating, if there's time, then we can simply do this. And thankfully, we have AI tools that can help us, okay. Usually, the main goal is to understand the solution, okay. And I usually want to write out things like this, okay, and understand what I want to do. So if we go to the code, where is the code? I want to show you what I'm talking about. So if I open this. I can start the front end. Okay, the back end first. Where is this terminal? Say docker compose app. Okay. In fact, I did not need to run the terminal to show you what I want to show you. nvm use 20 and npm run dev. Expand this. Okay. Then also one more thing I forgot to tell you. Okay. Maybe number 6, I need to show you some of the changes I made. Okay. 6 changes made concerning the booking. Okay. Changes made. And of course, you guys who are actively reading the code in the repository, I'm sure you saw that there's something. Changes made on booking. If you're reading the code and following along, you must see. Maybe not changes, but improvements. Okay. I just made a few things concerning what we studied in the previous stream. So if I open this front end, you're going to see the page. Okay. So what I'm interested in is right here. Okay. This part which says popular destinations. Okay. I want it to fetch real data. Okay. And of course, this is things, what our travelers say is information that will maybe put just statically. Okay. And the contact form. But what I'm interested in is this area here. Okay. And actually Amadeus has an API for that. I want to show you. Okay. So let me close this, expand this. So this is the flight offers search. So you see, there are two. Okay. There's one called flight most traveled destinations. Where is it? I want to expand so that you see clearly. Okay. There's this one here, flight most traveled destinations. If I go to the Python SDK, okay, and of course, those who are working on iOS, there's an iOS SDK, there's a Java SDK, there's a Node SDK, there's Python, okay, which of course, that is what I'm interested in for this, okay. So you see that what they simply do, they say Amadeus, travel, analytics, air traffic, the travel.get, they call that API, okay. I mean, they call the API using original city code, okay, and then they provide the period, okay. So this is the most traveled destinations. Then, if you look at the response shows the type is air traffic, okay. They show the destination, the subtype, okay. They show the analytics, okay. The flight score, the number of travelers, okay. I see for that area, okay. So this is the what? The response that is got. And if you look at the I'm looking for something. I don't know if they had something by Carl. Okay, but look, this is the response. Okay, no, actually, I think I saw Carl. Yeah, Carl is here. Okay, so if you look at the Carl script, they make a request. Of course, first of all, the access token, which is we have built a way of this happening for us. And then after that, look at the endpoint. Okay, it goes to original city code. Okay, and the period. So I think this API, if I've understood the response, and if I misunderstood, of course, feel free to correct me. It is fetching. This API is fetching the most traveled, I think, locations within a particular place. Okay, because I'm seeing this. These are different what? Different city codes. I think destinations within a particular place in a particular period. That's what I'm thinking. But then there's also this other one. So we have to make a decision between this one, most traveled destinations, and most booked destinations. So if I go to the Python SDK, flight most booked destinations. So it says Amadeus, the travel analytics air traffic booked.get. they pass the original city code and the period. Okay. So you see, look at this question. It seeks to answer the question, where were people flying to from Madrid in August 2027? You get, where were people flying to from Madrid in that period? If we go to destinations, I want to see the question it seeks to answer. So I'd open both. This one seeks to okay. This one says, where were people flying to from Madrid in January 27? This one says, where were people flying to from Madrid in August? Okay, looks like the same question. Okay, it seeks to answer the same question. Okay, so this has to work in such a way that we get the current user's location. Okay, in which we ask from where the current user is, where were people flying to? You get, from where the user is, where were people flying to? Okay, then we can just maybe render about 2 or 3, whatever. Okay, if I see the response again, how many tools, how much data do we get back? See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, there are 10. Then this other one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, maybe I can what? I can follow this. Okay, I can use this. So this is what is gonna happen. I'll pick between most booked and most travel destinations. We need to decide on one. Okay. So to do that, I think most traveled and most booked. Okay. We need to decide on one. If you've booked to go to a place, obviously you have paid to go there. Also, if you're flying to a particular place, then you're already in the plane. Okay. I guess maybe you might book. Okay. You might book to go to a place, then cancel. That is my thinking. Okay. You book to go to a place, then cancel. But if you're already in the air, okay, then you're not cancelled, you're already moving. Okay. So these are places people are going to. Okay. So I'm going to use this one of air traffic, most traveled destinations is what I'm going to pick. All right. So I'm going to copy this, copy it, and go to our code. So the whole goal is to populate this area, okay? But it shall have caching and stuff like that, like you've already seen me doing. So let me go to the code, okay? So it's going to be in backend, okay? External services. Richard is asking a question. Do you recommend beginners to learn Express, Django, or FastAPI? Interesting. Good question. Personally, I think my first API build was with what is Django, not Django. What's it called? Spring Boot. Rather quite interesting and really hard. For a beginner, for you to ease in yourself into the whole industry, I would suggest you start with maybe something easy. So Richards, start with something easy. Okay. Picking FastAPI on Express is not bad. Okay. One of those can do. Yeah. So if you're very good at JavaScript, okay, pick Express. Okay. If JavaScript is your thing, JavaScript, TypeScript, you really shine at TypeScript, you love and dream TypeScript, please use Express. If you love Python so well, okay, you do Python, you breathe Python, start with FastAPI, okay? But when you do these things, okay, I want you to focus on learning backend development, okay? Do not focus on mastering Express or mastering FastAPI. Focus on the backend concepts, okay, that you need. Because once you master either FastAPI or Express, I mean, if you master the concepts of backend development, okay, you can switch, okay, between any. You can quickly go to Express if you're from FastAPI and be able to create a backend very fast. Why? Because you've understood the concepts of backend development. You can leave Express and go to Django, okay? Learn Django within a short time and apply the same concepts and principles of backend development. You can leave Django and go to Spring Boot, go to Laravel and still apply the same principles of backend development. So yeah, I would say start with what is easy for your tech stack, like FastAPI for Python guys and Express for JavaScript guys, okay? So that's what I would recommend, okay? If you want to start maybe freelancing and you think you have a thick skin and for example, you're in the Python world, I would suggest you do Django, okay? If you want to freelance in a full stack way from the get-go, because with Django, of course, even fast API it's possible, okay, but Django is more batteries included, okay, for quick prototyping, okay, and full stack development, okay, in Python. Django can help you, okay. If you're going to freelance with only fast API as a backend developer, okay, I mean, if you're going to freelance, okay, as a backend developer building on APIs, okay. So if you know Python, do fast API. If you're in JavaScript, do Express. But all in all, the point is learn backend development. Okay, master backend development. Personally, I learned backend development using Spring Boot, a framework of Java. Okay, when it came to learning things like Express, it was so easy. Okay, I just learned the syntax of Express, and also you saw me on this channel learning the syntax of FastAPI. Okay, but the concepts remain the same. Okay, you have to create a query parameter in Express, Django, FastAPI, Laravel. You'll have to work with the request body. You'll have to perform authentication. You'll have to perform authorization. You'll have to perform catching, you'll have to perform logging, error handling, rate limiting. All these concepts are the same, okay? You'll have to work with headers, cookies, okay? Authentication tokens, okay? You'll have to work with infrastructure. You have to work with maybe deployment, databases, ORMs, okay? Migration tools. The concepts cut across, okay? So if you understand what a query parameter is, then you know that when I'm building this feature, I need to create a query parameter. So you find out, how do I create a query parameter in Express? How do I create a query parameter in FastAPI? How do I create a query parameter in Django? So the concept is query parameters. I've understood the concept of a query parameter. So all I need to do is even Google, ask AI, research how to create a query parameter, because I know the concept of a query parameter and how an endpoint having a query parameter should look like. Okay. If I've understood the concept of authentication, okay, then I apply authentication to the endpoint. Okay. That is all you need. I hope that helps, Richards. If you have a follow-up question, let me know. So let's continue. So in flights, okay, I want to zoom out a little bit. In flights, then here, okay, in this Amadeus flight service, we're going to add something to it. Okay, I know it's been a while since we entered this class. You must be thinking, be like, wow, yeah, that is true. I also feel it too. It's been a while. So in this class, okay, we are going to have a function to help us pick the most traveled destinations. Okay, so I can come here, okay, and say define most underscore traveled destinations, and look at AI helping us with can I call it autocomplete? Okay, so I can hit tab to autocomplete, and I'm going to check it. Okay, I'm going to check it. I'll check here and say, does it follow this? Okay, Amadeus, I'm going to just copy all this. Okay, just to make sure I don't miss out on anything. Copy all this, come here, replace this, okay, like that. So this will be self.amadeus.travel.analytics.airtravel.traveled. And then what else am I looking for? Okay, that is it. Then this original city code and the period, okay, have to come from here, from the as arguments. So I'll say this will be origin city code, like that, comma, then we shall have the period. So these are all strings actually. It's a string. This one is also a string, like that. So then here, instead of doing this, I pass the origin city code equals to origin city code. I'll use this autocomplete. Okay. So you see origin city code equals to origin city code, period equals to period. Okay. Then return response.data. Okay. Even I would have created what? I would have used the AI. Okay. So I want to copy this and give it a shot. Okay. And remove this and see what it would do. Open this terminal. Okay. Maybe I'll create a new session and give it context. I say for the backend. Okay. I'll say create a service function to fetch most traveled destinations based on the following. Let's see what AI can do. Okay, and right now I'm testing this because I have used my max tokens, okay, for this month for Cloud Sonnet 4.5, actually for all these others, okay, and I've been using these 4.1, GPT 4.1 mini and Grok Code Fast, okay, and I don't know how to pay for more tokens to use either Sonnet 4.5, either or Codex, okay, or even the Gemini 3 Pro. I want to stick on these ones here, okay, and I see how it performs. So let us see. Okay, so you look at where it has put it. It has put it in the wrong place. Okay, it has put it in the wrong place. You get, so those cheaper models seem to have actually more work actually. Okay, so let me say put it. Sometimes I think when you're using AI, you can end up actually coding more. Maybe spending more time prompting than actually coding. Put it in the class and add the correct function arguments. Or maybe my prompt was not good enough. Who knows? Okay. But I feel like the other tools work much better. Okay. Look at the function. Okay. The function name. Okay. Enough of that. I'm not going to keep prompting back and forth. Okay. So I will let it finish and then I undo. Okay. I feel like okay, looks like it has it has figured it out. Okay. It has figured out actually even the function name. So I'll just say keep and drag it to where I want it to be. Okay. I want it to be at the bottom. So drag, go to the bottom. Yeah, it's interesting to see how this. I think there's in the past the free models used to work actually very, very well. But for some reason now, I think they're starting to make them maybe intentionally poor performance. Okay. But let's see. It says fetches the most traveled destinations from a given city period using Amadeus API. Says original city code, ita code of the origin city, e.g. mad, the period, okay? Then returns a list of destinations. Okay, let's go on. This is okay. Now we need to implement the route itself or the path operation. So shall go to, I'll close this. I go to routers, okay? For this should be maybe routes instead of saying routers, okay? Then at the top, okay, I need to import that actual service. Okay. And actually we have the Amadeus service. Okay. Where is it? Amadeus service. This one here. So I'll just go down here and create a function, say at router dot get. Okay, this is going to be get. So this will be okay. I'll accept this analytics slash most travel destinations. Okay, then I'll define okay a path operation function. Okay, let us see what AI will say. Origin city code. Okay, no, what AI is suggesting is actually not what I want. Okay, here I'll accept maybe the origin city code and a period like that. Okay, then I come here and I try and catch. Okay, try except man, I can't even type except. That's crazy. Okay, then come here and say the response is equals to Amadeus service.get. Okay, that is okay. Return response. Then here, okay, can simply raise an HTTP exception, okay, with the detail. Richard says, when you were just learning, what did you struggle with the most, and how did you overcome that? Richard, are you talking about when I was learning FastAPI recently, like about 3 months ago, or do you mean when I was starting my journey, my very first time? Because I could answer depending on that, or you want both? Richard, I'll give you an answer. When I was just starting out, my major challenge was that I had fear. Okay, fear, and this fear came from people who were around me. They were already so good. Okay, one time in my first class of programming, a friend of ours went to the board and he wrote a nested loop. Right? Notice what I'm saying. Not coding, okay? Not on a laptop. On a board, like with a marker, okay? I don't know if you guys know what a marker is. A marker and a whiteboard. He went and wrote on the board during our lecture a working, running code in our first lectures. Can you imagine? That was like less than 3 months of learning programming at university. And he did that, okay? That hit me so hard, okay? And I had this fear of, will I really manage if I'm already too good? In the web development class, one guy, when we were submitting our final projects, submitted something which was beyond what we expected. At that time, it looked like professional work. Okay, I started development with people who actually, I started software engineering with people who already knew so many things. So fear was one of the things that could used to hold me back. Will I fit in? Maybe I can say maybe fear with imposter syndrome. Will I fit in? Okay, and it took time for me to become good. Okay, because of fear. But later in the long run, because these guys wanted to learn English. Okay, many of them were French speakers and they wanted to learn English. And they wanted to learn English by speaking to someone who was already comfortable with English. So I became friends with them and we had like this coding group. Okay, and by I became more comfortable. Okay, discussing stuff with them and they pushed me to learn. Okay, they pushed me to learn things. And another thing that used to disturb me was procrastination. Okay, I would always push things ahead. Okay, push things ahead, push things ahead. But after some time, I got over it. Okay, I learned that the best way to learn is by being consistent. If you see, actually, this previous time when I learned FastAPI, I was able to do it for 31 days non-stop. Okay, yeah, this is some of the things I remember. And in the long run, these guys actually helped me to get better. And we kept now pushing each other. Time came when the knowledge gap between them and I was not so much. The difference was just experience. And one time I remember I woke up one morning and I go to the lecture room and I'm already challenging them. Do you guys know what this is? Okay. So one of them was not as experienced as others. So I met them in the room and the first question I asked him, man, do you know how to create an API? Do you know what an API is? I just learned about APIs and I was so excited, okay, to build APIs using Java and Spring Boot. And I entered the lecture room and I met him, and he has no idea what it's all about, and I'm teasing him about APIs. Okay, so he goes on to learn about it, and after some time, he gets so much into love with backend development using Express and JavaScript. So at some point, he comes and also asks me, "Do you know what GraphQL is? I have a GraphQL API. Forget the things of REST." Okay, and I'm like, I'm blown away. After some time, I'm also forced to learn what GraphQL is. Yeah, but those are the most things I struggled with. Okay, fear. Okay, imposter syndrome, and procrastination. Those are my main challenges. Okay. Yeah, of course, I don't want to spend time talking about my backend journey in detail, but those are some of the things I faced. Maybe one time I'll share a story of what happened when I worked at a certain job. I think it was my second experience as a backend developer, working with Express and TypeScript and GraphQL and REST, who were building a bot for building an API for a Facebook bot for lawyers in Congo. It was crazy. Okay, one time I'll share it. So let's continue. Okay, let's continue. I'm thinking of this. Okay, being a Pindatic model. Okay, this one here. Let us see. Let us see. Okay. Oh, okay. They can be query parameters still. Okay, they can be query parameters. Let's leave. Then maybe let me do this. Okay, let me do this. I want to instead of wasting time, I want to do this. Okay. Should I say depends current user? No, it shouldn't be by current user. Why? Because this part here on the front end, okay? Remember, this is static data, okay? It's going to be accessed by people who are not logged in, okay? So you should see the most traveled destination in case you're not logged in. I was going to put this dependency, get current user, but that would fail us. I was also going to put this session, but there's no need for it, okay? So I think that is it. I'm thinking what else to do. Okay, I think for now, this is good enough. What I now need to do is to maybe add catching, okay? This add a catching layer, okay? A catching layer. So, but okay, before adding a catching layer, let us just have it working, okay? Let us have it working. So I can even go to the front end. I mean, to our API endpoint, just to see that it is set up. Local hosts, I think, is 8,000. I don't think it's API v1. API v1, I think, is from some other project I'm working on. For this one, it's just docs. And actually, I think I need to add also API versioning here. So if I look for flights, destinations, is it there? What is it? What is it called? Most traveled. It's not here. Okay, I can't see it. I think I need. Oh, I've remembered my issue. I keep forgetting this issue. Okay, my issue of my backend. Oh my god. I need to fix this issue, by the way. Okay, whereby I need to rebuild the image arrays for changes to be reflected. Then also I need analytics most travel destinations. Is this how I should name it? Okay, I think I'll rename this later. Richard is asking, what advice do you have? What advice do you have got? What advice have you got for people who are stuck in tutorial limbo and they keep wanting to buy courses and not being hands-on in coding for themselves? I mean, you see, buying courses and watching tutorials make you feel comfortable. Okay, make you feel nice. You as you personally, you just have to decide one day. Okay, and when you make that decision, you go for it. Okay, you have to stay true to yourself and disciplined. Okay, because remember, the only person if you continue that, you're only lying to yourself. And the worst person to lie to the person you should never lie to is yourself. Okay, think about yourself. You first of all, you've realized that courses can't help you. Okay, watching courses always can't help you. Okay, and the only way to get better is by building. Okay, you have to get used to getting uncomfortable. Okay, just start. Okay, the best thing is to tell you to just start. You look at me right now, okay? I learned FastAPI right in public. And I just come to the internet, turn on my camera, and I'm building things, okay? I don't fear to fail in public. I just started, and I try as much as possible to be disciplined, okay? So what I can tell you is start building things, okay? It's okay to fail. You're going to fail a lot, but that's what makes you a software engineer. Failing and learning from you, the mistakes you'll make while you're coding, the decisions you'll make, okay? It's like it's like when you want to get muscles, okay? You cannot get muscles by watching gym videos, okay? Watching influencers in the gym. Do you get muscles by watching them in the gym? You can't. Okay, by watching someone lifting weights, you cannot get muscles. You build muscles by okay, you can watch them, okay, but you might watch their technique, but the best thing is for you to go to the gym yourself and carry those weights, okay? So just like also in coding, you cannot get good by only watching, okay? You actually get good by doing. So like when you see me doing something here, you also go out and test it out on your own. Break things, change them, and write things your own way, okay? That's what I can tell you, okay? Be disciplined and don't lie to yourself, okay? If you want a course, maybe get one course, okay? Get one course, build a project in that course, build more projects based on that course. The trick is being disciplined. No one can help you to be disciplined except yourself. Okay? That's the fact. No one can help you to be disciplined because no one is there to see what you're doing in your free time. Okay? So I think I have to rebuild this whole thing. So, Richard, the best thing I can tell that person is to come on, what's this? I want to undo this. Let me rebuild. So the best thing I can tell that person is to not to lie to yourself and put in the actual effort. It is not easy, but the more you do it, okay, the more you do it, apply what they call the 2-minute rule, okay? Try to build your project for at least 2 minutes, okay? Before you know it, you'll have made 5 minutes, okay? Start with maybe 10 minutes. Say every day, for 10 minutes every day, I am going to work on my project, okay? So 10 minutes today, 10 minutes tomorrow, 10 minutes the next day, okay? And you'll see yourself progress. It is something that you have to be, it's a habit that you have to build. Just like people build the habit of watching things, you must build the habit of building things. The habit of watching things did not just start all of a sudden. You're not born with it, okay? It has been actually brought about by this whole short form content thing and shorts and reels and TikTok and all these things, okay? It affects, okay? I hope that was helpful. You just have to get hard on yourself, okay? And ask yourself, what do I want? Am I just coaching for fun, or do I want to build a career out of this, okay? If you want to build a career out of this, you can only do it by building things, getting hands on. And no course will give you everything, okay? You learn more by doing. So, like you see me doing things here, this is how I learn best, okay? By actually applying. So, I want to go to the front end. I want to prompt our guy here, okay? I add the front end to the context, okay? And I'm going to say flight response, okay? So this is the structure of the data we're getting back, okay? Copy this, okay? Then, Richard, if you have a follow-up question, please feel free to ask. You're asking really good questions, actually. Yeah. Just get hard on yourself, okay? Become tough on yourself. Be disciplined. And discipline can only be built by yourself, like for real. But start small, say maybe 10 minutes every day or 5 minutes every day. I'm building something, okay? But do it every day. Don't say I'm going to code for 10 hours on the weekend. That will not help you. Do it consistently every day. Like actually these live streams, if I had like maybe, if if my day job gave me enough time, I would code for hours. Trust me, several hours. So let me get to the front end. Okay, front end front, and then I go to source. Okay. Then app. Okay. Then app layout. No, page.tsx. Okay. In page.tsx, there's a section of popular destinations. Okay. Here. So I want it to, I seen this destinations.map. Okay. We are using information from a hard-coded list, Python, I mean, not Python, but JavaScript list. Okay. You see, it's a list of objects. Okay. That we are using. But instead, we're going to fetch from the API. Okay. And this is what I'm going to give the AI, okay, to do. GPT-4.1 is, excuse me, is starting to disappoint me. Okay. Maybe I should try Grok first. Okay, but let me leave it to 4.1 and see how it performs. So I'll say make an API call to the backend to fetch popular destinations. Okay, then I'm going to tell it to remove the hard-coded list. Okay, API returns a response in the following format. Okay, just to give it some more context. And then I paste the format. Where am I pasting it from? From right here. Okay, from here. And again, if I had, for example, paid, if my plan was not done, okay, you would see that tools like Sonnet 4.5 are much better at understanding. So let's wait. Is my stuff running? Okay, so the API is running. If I refresh here, okay, say this, search for destinations. There we are. Okay, we get analytics, most traveled destinations, and then we'd have to enter in the city code. Okay, let me click try it out. Okay, I want to put the one they had in the documentation, just to make sure that our thing is working. Okay, they have the mad, the code is mad, and this is the period. So come here, city code mad period. I'll put maybe 2025. Hit send. Let's see. So you see the response body, we get, it's empty. Okay. So probably for that period, there's nothing, but the date looks, okay, date is okay. But you see, we got nothing. Okay. Maybe I need to put it uppercase like that. Need to put it uppercase for the city code. Okay. Still we get nothing. We have nothing. Let me see, 2025 10. Okay. Still nothing. Interesting. Is that on my end or because of what I've done? Which month are we in? November 11. Let me change the code to London. And I see nothing. NYC. Okay. We're still getting empty. Let us check. Okay. Okay, let first AI finish with the front end. I want to go to the back end and make sure that is resolved. Go to response to data. And to print. Okay. And to print response to data and the actual response. But I can put this in an F string and say destinations. Okay. So as we rebuild, and I don't know how I keep forgetting to fix this issue. Okay. I shouldn't rebuild like this every time. Okay. There's a way you can set up a Docker volume to pick up this. Says the error was due to closing an error brace. What's crazy? Why is it talking about error braces? Okay. So what is happening? Let me see. means you have to be careful with these AI tools. It can mess up your code base. So, okay, it says await, fetch, process.env, next public, base URL, or this. Okay. So it passes the original city code and period. Okay. There's a GET request, application, type JSON. Okay. So this is okay. If I get back, so in fact, to avoid this error, okay, I'm going to make sure that the backend returns default data, okay, for the most popular destinations. So, but for localhost, I don't think I want this, okay. If this is not configured, okay, I want it to fail, so that at least maybe either users can report it that it's not working, or so I'll do that. Then here, it seems it failed with formatting the end of file. I think it's what it was talking about. Okay, let me just say yes. Fix the brace. So you see, it says, would you like me to fix the brace? Okay, so it says remove the hard-coded destinations list. The component now fetches data from the API. Let us see, where does it fetch the data from? So what I'm interested in, I need to review. So it says destination names, okay? Paris, Barcelona. Okay, but I didn't think of this, okay? My idea actually, what I wanted to do, okay, is that where the user is currently, okay, where you are in the world currently, I wanted to pick your current location and get the most popular destination that people go to from your place, from your current location. But I guess this is also okay. So let's review. Okay. If I am just a keep, then I want to go through all this. Okay. So it's what I was looking for, popular destinations. But it's passing this instead. Okay. It's passing this still. Okay. Then set destination is calling this function to set the data. Excuse me. Then set loading false is calling this. Set error. Okay. Set loading false. This is okay. So destinations.map. Okay. Alt equals to destination. Destination.destination. Not really. It's not what I expect. I'm going to make changes myself. So you see this use effect. Okay. We need to mark this file as use client. Okay. At the top here. Quotes. Then I say use client. I think this is it. Save. When I come here, says cannot read properties undefined of map. Yeah. I guessed that was the issue. Okay. So this is what I'm going to do. I want to zoom out a little bit to see the code in a wider view. I actually don't need this. Okay. I don't need this. So what I'm going to do is fetch for two. So if you remember, okay, the front end was showing, I think, about 5 cards. Okay. What I can do right now is to have, let me say, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, 10 distance. 10. I want to pick, what I'm going to do, I'm going to pick, not 10. 10 are many, okay? I'm going to pick 5. I'm going to remove Ecuador. I'll remove this one. I'll remove 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 5. Maybe I remove Portugal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I need to remove 2 more. I'll remove Belgium, Barcelona, Spain, Terry, Spain. Yeah, I think I can consider this most popular for now. Okay, most popular for now. So Paris, Barcelona, UK, New York, UAE. Okay, these are good for now. I hope these are the correct country codes. Okay, so I can now, in fact, what I can do to keep it simple for it to work. Okay, I can simply get back this and say for now, send for DXB, okay? 25, 11, okay? Like that. Open developer tools. But if I scroll, okay? If I scroll, I want you to see something. So I think this failed to load destinations. Something is wrong, okay? Let's go to the network tab, refresh. That is okay. I want to see if any API call is made. That's what I'm actually interested in right now. I can't see any here. I'm only seeing node modules, images. What is this? Localhosts. No, it wasn't actually made because I think of how this JSX is being built. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. Okay, there's no need to, let me see what's the error says, cannot read properties of undefined map. So destinations that map is this. Okay, I want to make sure that it's only one array. Okay, one array. So let me prompt it and I see what it does. Okay, what it does. Okay, let me see. Let's say get rid of destination names. Okay, loops through the output from the API only. Use grok. Okay, just a moment. Let me get back. Okay, I'm now back. So let's see. Sometimes I feel like I should pay for pro models just to do front end. And because of AI, I don't know if you guys feel it. I've become like very, very lazy at even writing front end code. Okay, so let me see the API call. Let me first do this, okay? One way I fix my issues, comment out the whole area, okay? Refresh it. Okay, we're getting that error failed to load destinations. Let's go to, wait, why is it an alert? Did you guys see an alert? It is crazy, okay? So, okay, this is now good enough. Now, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this, okay? Fetch popular destinations is this function, okay? Await fetch. So why is it failing? Okay, is the question. Console.log data. Okay, console.log data. Time to debug. Console.log error. Okay, what I can say, I can do this. Okay, error fetching destination. Then here you can simply say destinations. So Richard, when you go through these kind of things, okay, it's what builds your thought process. So if you look at this, you see that endpoint, according to the network tab, it is never called. Okay. Even if I go to the backend, let me see, is it called? Oh, actually it's called. Look at this. Yeah, it is called. City called, we get a city called DXB, but the period is not sent. I think the period is not being sent to the backend. Okay. That's a good catch. Let me see. And period equals to period. So if I get back here, see destinations. So yeah, actually the backend is receiving data, but we get an empty list. This makes sense. So what I need to fix, okay, is in this function, why are we not receiving the period? Okay. Console.log. Okay. I want this to happen. Refresh. Fetching during this. Okay. So the date is passing. Okay. The date is passed to this function. The question is, why doesn't if you look at the endpoint call, okay, we're not getting the period. You're not getting the period is not being sent. So let me do this. I'm going to copy. This is crazy. Why would it not copy this? Let's say URL. Okay. Then above it, I'll say const URL will be equals to that. Just need to take my time debugging it slowly until I fix it. Okay. So now let us see. Console.log is the URL. Okay. Refresh. So if you look at the URL, okay, I want to okay, you see the URL has actually the period. Are you seeing this? The period is actually being the can I call it what's called this the endpoint, okay, is being constructed with the correct query parameter. Let me expand. You see, we have the origin city code and the period. Okay. So the API call is okay. All right. Now time to go to the backend. Okay. Time to move to the backend. So you see, this is okay. It is empty for now. Okay, but I'll need some default values there. So I can remove these empty statements, remove this, I mean not empty, but the logs. So that is okay. Now go to the backend. Okay, go to the backend, and of course here we found that it was empty, but I need to check something. Okay, I need to be sure that this data is actually reaching here. Okay, first of all, I need to be sure that the data is reaching here. Okay, let me print and say print. Okay, print. Okay. Okay, let me just use that statement from AI to make sure that the periods, I mean the period and origin city code are actually being sent. Okay, same issue. I need to rebuild this guy to be able to pick up those changes. I hope I don't forget to fix this. I can't keep rebuilding just to see a few code changes. Okay. I think it's gonna test my patience. But let me go to this function. Am I passing? Yes, I pick them and I pass them. If I go to documentations, documentation mentions them as query parameters, okay? Which is okay. Okay, it's still building, so we'll get an issue. In fact, what I want to do is that if we don't have data, okay, for a particular location, okay, maybe I'm not getting data because this is a free and this is I'm using the test environment. Actually, I remember when I was doing Amadeus, when I was reading their pricing, okay, some endpoints will not give you what you want, okay. So I'm going to give it, can I call it default, okay? In case there's no response, it returns this default data, okay, for this location. Just to have it working. Okay, so let's see. If I execute from here. Okay, response is empty. But here in the date, you see, travel destinations from NYC for periods. Okay, so the period is being passed. Okay, the city code and period is being passed. Okay, so that is okay. The only difference is that we are not getting data for it. Okay, there's no information from Amadeus for that period. Okay, which is fair enough. Okay, so what I'm going to do is this, just to be sure that there's nothing to do. It has nothing to do with the country code. If you look at this, you see we get fetching most travel destinations from NYC. Okay, for period that. Okay, I just want to do one more thing just to be sure it's not. If I say maybe 10 or 09, okay, execute, still we get nothing. Fair enough. Okay, what I'm going to do now, we need to have default information. Okay, default information in case the API returns nothing. Okay, we need default information on the. I think maybe that should be on the front end. Okay, rather than the back end. It's a decision to make whether to have the default data on the back end or on the front end. But before that, let me add the caching layer. Okay, remember in the plan. Okay, in the plan so far I have dealt with the external API. Okay, we have built endpoints. Okay, we have integrated actually in the front end. Okay, now I need to do caching. Okay, then I can show you the changes made on the booking model. So for caching, remember we first build a catch key. Okay, a catch key. Then, in fact, let me just copy all this. Copy this logic. And paste it here. Okay. So we're going to build a catch key. Okay. If we're going to build, I'm forgetting how this build this key because I've taken it without using it. Build this key. Okay. Takes a dictionary. Okay. And for every key, gets the key values. Okay. Key values and builds a key. Okay. Okay. Using the dictionary keys and values, it builds a key. Okay. That's okay. So here I'll say the key will be, let me say city underscore code. Okay. Value will be an F string. Okay. Yeah. Something like this. Not what AI suggested. AI is a good misleader. Let me do it myself. The value will be an F string like that. Then here I can have no origin city code like that, then the period like that. Okay, then here I can just put maybe, let me see how is it being created again. Key value for key in value dot data items, then join using an underscore, make a unique key. So here I'll do this, city code underscore period. Okay, then okay, so flight, it's not be flight orders, I'll call it, I'll say destinations is equals to redis dot catch. Okay, if destinations return destinations, otherwise we say Amadeus flights, no, this is wrong. Okay, so if destinations are available, we return the destinations, otherwise we set, okay, at the end, copy this at the end there. Okay, we set the response. So that's how we can add the catching layer. Okay, so to go through it again, we build the Redis catch key using the city code and period. Okay, we just build something that can be a unique key for Redis. Then we try to get the key from Redis. Okay, using this key we can get the destinations if they're in Redis. If they're not there, we return them. Otherwise, we make a request to Amadeus. Okay, save that data using the key in the Redis catch, and then return the response. Yeah. So if I try it out now for the first time, it has taken some time. If I try it out again, oh, actually, I've run our problem. Big problem which I need to solve. Okay. No need to rebuild this thing over and over again. Yeah, so we're moving. So as that happens, I need to show you a few changes. Okay. Remember in the plan, I talked about showing you, where's that plan? Showing you the changes made on booking. So for booking, okay, you can see on the booking page, okay, now we have paid. Okay, when you pay, this, can I call it this badge? This badge changes to paid. Okay, very simple, nice way. And for the actions, we have this part saying ticket is being processed. Please be patient. Maximum of 24 hours. Okay, so when you pay successfully and the webhook is successful, like I showed you in a few videos ago when I was integrating the PesaPal payment gateway. Okay, once it is successful, then in this area here, instead of the button now is hidden away. I hide the button and I show you this message. Okay, in future we're going to work on an interface. Okay, to help admins to upload tickets. Okay, when the admin uploads a ticket, okay, and the user comes back to this page, they will see that, okay, there's a button saying ticket is ready, download it. Okay, yeah, so this is what I wanted to show you, the changes to the booking model, and that has actually been done in, if you go to backend models, I think it is, what's this, bookings, not flights. Okay, so you see booking status, I changed it from an enum to simply a class having strings. Why? Because the enum was giving me issues with Alembic. Okay, Alembic was throwing some errors concerning understanding the enum and applying the migration to the database. So all this caused some issues. So I changed the enum to a simple class with strings. So understand this, okay? Then what else changed? Everything else remained the same. Okay, so this is the ticket URL I'm talking about. So again, what you're seeing here is paid, okay, is the status here. Okay, is the status. Then what else can I show you? What can I show you? If you go to flights, the changes I made on the booking. Yeah, so if you come to get user bookings, okay, this way we are fetching the user bookings, but I want to see what else did I change. Get flight order, okay, in get flight order, what else? What changed? What changed? Did I change anything here? I need to be sure. Okay, I need to remove this statement. So when I'm now generating the Amadeus, when I'm generating the booking details, you see here I changed, I think, the booking status to booking.status. Okay, instead of picking it from the Amadeus response, I pick it from what we have on the model. Okay, and you see the order this time, okay, comes from booking.amadeus order response. It is saved to the model. Okay, so at this point, yeah, now I remember, at this point I was making a request to Amadeus to give us the flight booking details. Okay, but now I don't do that anymore. Okay, I simply get it from our database. So one less API call to Amadeus, which is very good. This was the goal. Okay, one less call to Amadeus. So we simply pass the Amadeus order from our database, from the booking, instead of making an API call to Amadeus to give us the booking. Of course, this might have implications, but it's not something I'm worried about, because I don't expect at this point for the order to change that much. Okay, in case it does and there are issues, then I can always revert. But this is what I changed. Okay, and what else did I change? And of course, the code I've already pushed it. You can always find it. Booking flight orders. I think, did I change anything here? No, I didn't. I simply passed the Amadeus order response. Okay, like you see here. So I think this is okay. What else do I need to do? Yeah, I think that's it. So in the to do for today, I've also shown you the changes made on booking. Okay, and of course the front end simply renders. Okay, a few if statements here and there to render this depending on whether the booking status is paid or not, and whether there's a ticket or not. Maybe I can show you. Okay, to avoid to be very, very clear, so that you have a clear understanding when you're coding. So if I go to booking, success page.tsx, okay, I want to show you those things. So you see for getting the status color, I added more. Okay, confirmed, paid, pending, cancelled, failed, reversed, refunded, and the colors for each of those statuses. Then what else did I change? Okay, what else did I change? Fetch booking data is still the same. What did I change? Loading. What did I change? Okay, yeah, here we are. Okay, so I have a number of helpers. Okay, something that helps me to know that something has been paid. Okay, that a booking, if the booking status is confirmed or the status is paid, then any of this can return true. Okay, is this. Then, okay, we have has ticket, okay, which simply is a boolean, okay, if the ticket is available. The show processing message, okay, is also a boolean if the status is paid, okay, and there is no ticket. Okay, so if you have paid, okay, and there is no ticket, then I show you this message here that the ticket is being processed. Please wait. Otherwise, this message will not show and you'll see a download button. Okay, I hope I did that. But this one here is paid. I'm starting to think about it. Okay, that the payment button should only show when the booking status is what is paid, not confirmed. Okay, this I think is wrong. Okay, when the status is paid. So I guess this might break it. Okay, so we need to log in. I guess I'll have to. Okay, this is okay. This is what I expect. Okay, so yeah, it's always good to go through things. Okay, so a confirmed booking is not paid for. Okay, what I had here previously was wrong. This is wrong. That's why sometimes you have to be very careful when you generate code with AI. It might look correct when it's actually wrong. So code reviews are okay. So it's paid. If I search for this, if I search for show message, okay, show message, okay, this is okay. So download ticket, you see download ticket. If it is paid and there's a ticket, then we show the download ticket. Okay, then we pass the URL to the href and the ticket will be blank, and you'll be able to download the ticket. Okay. Maybe let me show it. If I maybe to illustrate that. Okay, I can change this to true. True. Actually, wow, this is JavaScript, not Python. True. True. Okay. You see, we have the download ticket button. So this is how it works. Okay. When you have paid and there is a ticket. Okay. So I hope that makes sense. So those are the changes I made to the booking part, this booking page and the endpoints associated with this. Okay. So I hope now that is clear to you. Okay. You can now go to the code and understand it. So let me try. So we've done that. Okay. We have also done catching. Okay. So what is missing is automatically populating the form. Okay. Let me see. Time check. Wow. A good amount of time has been taken. I need now to head to work. Okay. I need to head to work. So for the popular destinations, this is what I'm going to do. Let me first go to the terminal so I know what to do going forward. If I get back here, execute, and see if the cache is working. Search. Okay, this one is now, is it faster? I should have put a few statements. Oh, so you see the statements, fetching most travel destinations, which means our cache, okay? Our cache is not working. So because this stuff is here, okay? Is in this API, okay? Is here. So I'll print, maybe add a print statement, let's say, returning from cache, okay? Destinations key, okay? Then I'm going to say print, I'm going to print the key, print key, okay? Returning from cache. Then here I'll say returning from API. Returning from API. Something like this, okay? Then here I can remove this. I mean, this shouldn't be an issue. Maybe I missed out something on this, okay? But it's clear that the response data is empty, okay? This is totally unexpected, okay? I really expected it to give me some data. So actually, if you think about it, I've actually hit most of these goals today. And of course, I cannot automatically populate the form, okay, if we are not populating data, okay? We're not populating data. Where is that part? Close this. We're not populating data here, okay? So we need to populate data here. So you see, it says loading, then goes to failed load destinations, okay? We need that data here, you get. So, okay, the API is still running, okay? But the data needs to be populated here. So if Amadeus is giving us empty response, okay, I am going to create default values, okay, that will be shown here, okay, in case the response from the API is empty. So I want to end it here because I see I've spent over an hour and I need to get back to work, okay, to the day job. So I'll add that remaining part, which is responsible for adding the default data in case Amadeus data is not available. And when you click on it, okay, when you click on a destination, it should automatically populate this field, okay? And what else is missing? Also the cache, okay? The cache needs to be fixed, okay? So where's this page? If I refresh the page, so it says loading, you see, and empty, there's nothing, okay? For it to display. So we just need to render here some default data. And yeah, I'll do that. So if I go to here, our cache, our logs, you'll see see the catch key, you get the catch key is this. We get this as the catch key. Then since returning from API, we get that. Then get, so you see, we got information from the API. If I search again, we are getting information from the API. Okay, meaning the catch, the key. I don't know. I need to investigate why our catch is not being efficient. Okay, that is also a bug. So Richard was asking about how you get better when you get issues like this. Okay, you go back and think about it carefully. Why has it not worked? Okay, why has it not worked? So yeah, this is something for me to think about and ask myself, why has this not worked? Okay, and what else? What else do I want to show you? Yeah, I think that is it. So let me get on to my day job, and I'm going to work on this. Okay, then I'll push the code, and of course in the next video I'll show you those changes, and also I'll get to investigate and understand why this is not working. Okay, and then yeah, so yeah, good thing you're learning with me. Ensure to build this on your own and share this with people in your network. Okay, and sometimes after you've coded for some time, your mind gets cloudy. Okay, and something very simple, you may actually not think about it directly. Okay, you may not think about it. I mean, not direct, but clearly. Okay, but we need this resolved. Actually, I noticed something simple. It's just because the mind is probably even tired. Okay, so I want to take a break and then rush for work. See you in the next live stream.